And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night where we're watching this transmission. You are tuned in to a special edition, I Can't Sleep, Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. The voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Thank you for coming out, people. I don't know, I'm just going to burn an hour here with you guys. Oh, the clapping is loud. Let me lower that here. Sorry. I was just listening to some Billy Idol earlier today, so I got everything going full blast here. But yeah, under control here. Hope everybody's doing good. And hopefully somebody picks this up and knows that we're live. And woo! Oh yeah, it's a special Mike in the Night. I am home alone. So family will be home later on tonight. So midweek party, I guess. Small party. And yeah, Pamela Page. Steven Sewell. Guys, do not send me anything on Super Chat. I don't get any of the money you guys send me, and I don't get any of the AdSense. So do not send anything to me via YouTube facilities. If you want to send me something, send it through on the link is posted on top to donor box. I was supposed to get a nice little payout from AdSense for the last month. All the hard work I put in, lots of good quality, good quality stuff. I ended up getting less than $70. And if you saw what I was supposed to be getting, they held it back because of the Ukraine war. They're closing down or shutting down my monetization because of the Ukraine war. So, yeah, so that's been, I was so happy to get a little bit of a payout, and then I got nothing. So, I, kind of wanted to. So don't send anything on Super Chat, guys, ever. Steven Sewell saying 10-4. I identify as a Canadian trucker sometimes. Honk, honk. Pamela Page in the house. CJ in the house. Spark Jive in the house. Good to see Spark Jive. Read God's Word is in the house. Rob Padley in the house. Yeah, no, I just want to see what you guys are up to. What you guys are talking about. Yeah, Odyssey is fair. Yes, it is. Yeah. Boa night, Lisboa. Great to be here. What time is it in Lisboa right now? What time? It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning in Lisbon. Woo! Mike in the Night. Well, that's good. That's good. We're getting some people in from my home country of Portugal. SD921 saying Euro 2016 was rigged for Portugal. Of course everything's rigged for yeah, of course. Yes. We're sorry, but all the matches that we lost and all the matches that we lost as a stepping stone team, they don't matter. The matches that we lost, if you saw some of the matches we lost over the years, oof. But that's okay. That's okay. It's all fixed. So, 3:30 in the morning, but pretty awake. That's right, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, says Vera, coming out of Portugal. All right, guys, I don't know I got some headlines here open for you guys. Let's take a look at what the heck is going on. Guys, I got the Mike in the Night ready to go on Odyssey for tomorrow night. For Saturday night. Tomorrow's still Friday. I got to keep my days. I already got a dislike on it. The Orlinger Brooksters get in there real early to put the dislikes in. But if you guys want to join us and save this link here, you are more than welcome to save this link. And you are more than welcome to... There you go. Right there. Okay. There we go. So... we're getting a lot of soccer. I'm not getting into soccer here tonight. Incredible amount of match fixing. Lots of money made. I made a lot of money in 06, so I'm not going to say my hands are clean from soccer. But in 06, I made a lot of money betting on soccer. A lot of money. Okay, so there's the Mike of the Night there. I left you guys the link there if you guys want to check it out. What about the WHO stuff running? Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Give me a second. artbydano.com, artbydano.net, fakeologist.com. Head over to FakeoTube. There's a lot of good stuff on here, but I'm afraid to kind of play it here on YouTube because it might flag something. KiwiRadio.nz, MikeInTheNight.com. Don't forget to check us out, MikeInTheNight.com. And you can find replays of original Mike in the Night on Rumble and Legalese Decoder. Don't forget to check that out. I'll give you guys a link to that. If you guys have any, like mail, I got some mail every day. I got some mail today. Sorry. There is Legalese Decoder. If you guys want to check it out, I had some legal jargon come in the mail today, and I punched it through this, and it basically told me, it's basically sending me in a circle on purpose because I believe that the government entities that send it to me have no idea what they're sending me. And keep the lights on for Mike in the Night. So if you guys want to support me by actually donating directly to me, go ahead and donate there directly to me. This way, YouTube keeps all the monetization money I make and all of the pretty much 90% of the super chat they keep. So I get nothing from it. So they make the money off the advertising. So yeah. So we got Chipper Gray in the house. We got Steve the Plumber in the house. We got Billy T in the house. Brian Lewis. All right. It's coffee every day, says Don Magulis. So someone's coming in from West Virginia. This is not a regular Mike in the Night, guys, so we don't have all the music, all the flashy stuff, all the cool stuff. Heck, we'll be lucky if we get more than 60 people watching this. But, yeah, I made it to 30K subscribers because usually every 3 years they unlock the channel for a few days, let it grow, and then lock it back. Lock it for a few days, lock it back. So in another 3 more years, I should be at 50,000 subscribers. Then in 6 more years, I should be at 80,000. And then maybe by 12 years from now, I'll be at 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. Oh, we got somebody in. We got M. Howell, M. Howell, 99 from Boston, Massachusetts. America's having fires everywhere. All right, let's find out what's going on, guys. We got to be very careful what we talk about on here, guys. So, all right, what is Zero Hedge? What's Zero Hedge reporting? Let's see what they got here. International community does not stand with us on Ukraine. Lunatic forewoman in Trump, Georgia case shocks media with her overt bias. Trump lawyers pounce. I have no idea what that is. Billionaire private equity financier Thomas H. Lee dies of self-inflicted gunshot wound. Oof. High-res images of Chinese spy balloon released. So Zero Hedge is not really... let's check on President Obama's promise to end homelessness by 2023. Remember that, folks? When he said that, I'm like, what? Why would he promise something like that? That's beyond. It's going to get worse. All right, what's going on? All right, let's go. Cable news host claims free speech out of date. Dominion bombshell. Crucial bug leading to incorrect results. We all know the results in the States for the elections are all fixed. Everything's fixed. Nothing's real. Like World Cup soccer. Argentina fixed that whole World Cup. 8 penalty shots. I'm going to keep doing that for the buddy in there in the comment section. There's a lot of Portuguese haters out there, right? I grew up in Canada, so I know what Portuguese haters are. I worked at places that if my employer found out I was Portuguese, they'd fire me. Yeah. Praying for the people in East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, so am I. Well, yeah, there's more people homeless. Steve the Plumber, everything's fine, buddy. I got a Starfucks. 81-minute vote, most popular president, 81 million votes. Yeah, most popular president in the Milky Way galaxy. Now, let's spare a thought for those living in Canada. It's something we've been warning about for 10 years on this channel. Canadian real estate price correction to be one of the largest in the world. And this correction here in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the blue states of America, they are in a lot of trouble because when this correction comes, it's going to affect every human being in those places every human being in every English-speaking country that I mentioned is going to be severely affected with the big housing correction we're going to be seeing. Yeah. Someone's asking me if I'm not streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming on Saturday. I'm just bored. I got an hour to kill, so I said, you know what? I'm going to come on and talk with you guys for an hour. So things could get worse for Canadian real estate, according to credit rating giant. Canada's population boom fueled by underutilized immigrants with insufficient shelter. Here's the problem with Canada. They want to bring in, I think it's 250,000 people in from Pakistan. And I think it's the other one is, and I think like 40 to 100,000 from Ethiopia. So tell me how these people are going to live in multi-million-dollar homes. So people listening to this in the United States, multi-million-dollar homes, Mike, they'll just pick up a place for $40,000, $50,000. That doesn't exist in Canada. That's only in America, in the red state of America. 40 to 60, even $140,000, $190,000 a home does not exist in Canada or within 700 miles of a major city of Canada. So this is going to be, so that's going to be a very interesting time to be, it's a very interesting time. So bringing in people, I think, okay, so I think it's Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Ethiopia, Canada is going to be focused on in 2023 to 2025. But what about affordability? I'm not saying people from Pakistan or Sri Lanka don't have any money. I'm saying, how do you get into how do you start out? Like, when my dad came from Portugal, when we came in from Portugal, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Okay, both my parents had to work 2-3 jobs just to pay, well, they paid off the house in 5 years at 20% interest rates, or 18% or whatever the hell it was. They still made their way. How do you make your way now? Like, okay, you're coming in, so what? All right, everything's rolling. Hey, Walking Journey's in the house. Skylight 119's in the house. How about building homes for the people here? Oh, come on! They're actually going to look out for the locals in their own country that built their own infrastructure, that built the fabric of what made Canada? You actually think they're going to fix the problems that we have in our home? No, we got to bring in more people from Pakistan. That's going to fix the problem. Yeah. That's what's. Let me take my shoes off here, people. Yeah, that's gonna fix our problem, guys. That's gonna be the biggest thing to fix Canada right here. So Canada's population boom fueled by underutilized immigrants with insufficient shelter. Canada is winning when it comes to attracting immigrants, but failing to use its windfall. That was the take from RBC, examining the immigration boom that makes up nearly all the growth. Canadians haven't been having kids. We made a video 8 years ago on the channel that said Canadians are not having kids anymore, not because they don't want to, because they can't afford to. Same thing in Australia, New Zealand, UK. I gotta pump it out like that real quick. And the blue states of America. Right? Happy Thursday, everybody. So somebody... Find the Numbers TV says, my family came to the States with $80 and made away. Of course they did. Because these countries at one point were expanding. And they needed European or, predominantly European expansion to come in and build it. Build the roads, the highways, the buildings, the office towers, everything you see around you. Yeah, back then, we could go into the woods and build a town like Grizzly Brown. Now, I was talking to a good friend of mine, a Jamaican friend. He came to visit me today at the store where we're talking. And I'm like, he's like, man, I was telling you, in Jamaica, man, you put up your booze, you put up your Coke, you start selling some booze, you make a little money, you buy 2 bottles of booze, you put a little TV on the wall, a little table in the corner, people start coming, and then you buy 3 bottles back and 12 bottles back until you have a full bar. And he says, yeah, in Jamaica, man, you could do that. Oh, you could do that in Jamaica. No problem, man. Nobody come and bother your shit. But in Canada, you need a liquor license. You need this. You need all these safeties. Safeties. So they can send you bills to your door to try to audit you. And that's why I got to be more vocal on here. I got to make sure going forward, things get told very, very straightforward here. We got to be very transparent and straightforward here when things start happening. It's okay. Not many take me seriously. No, I take you seriously. People come in and make their way. Back in the day, they made their way because they had something to live for and work for. Someone says, let's move to Jamaica. All right, let's move on here. Breitbart. There's some stuff I can't talk about on here because look at my channel. So guys, donate to the channel, donor box, link up top. Do not donate through PayPal or any of that garbage. All that money, not PayPal, the super chat, that all goes to YouTube keeps it all. I don't keep any of it anymore. And the reason why my channel got demonetized was because I basically said that Ukraine started the war with Russia, which they did. And now they're giving me poop on that. Metal World's in the house. Nice. Everybody. Look, Gary Madero's in the house. Holy smokes. Wow, so good to have you folks in the house. This is not your typical Mike of the Night because we can't do nothing on here, so we gotta just kind of be careful. We can't play music. We can't, I wouldn't be drinking right now, but you know what I mean, right? All right, Watchdog says Dem Katie Porter may have abused official resources. What's new? Report, Underground Network has shipped 20,000 abortion pills across the United States. What else is going on? Trump went to go visit East Palestine. Buys police, fire department, everyone at East Palestine McDonald's breakfast, I guess, or lunch. So there's not many people that are at a public figure level that can actually go out like this. Just openly like that. There's not too many people anymore that could do that. Wow. I know the Portuguese president is on the streets walking around taking people's questions with no security. I saw that the other day on the news. Oh, God, there's another bill. Canada's really working hard. Oh, Canada's working real hard to screw us over. What is Bill C-18 and what and how do I know if Google is blocking my news content? Google has temporarily blocked some Canadian users from viewing news content as a response to the Liberal government's proposed Online News Act Bill C-18, which will require companies to compensate Canadian media outlets for republishing. So they want Google to pay for Canadian propaganda? Hold on, let me get this straight. Let me figure this thing out here. They want Google to pay Canadian government wants Google to pay the Canadian government for government propaganda. Get out of here. Right there. Yeah, right. But come on. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Yeah, so you can see what you can see what's happening here in Canada. There's I don't know, there's no Canadian news is very bland and it's full of crap too. This is the southern border. There is a complete and total invasion happening, and most people have no idea how bad it really is. They're talking about Daily Versity is reporting on the southern open border that's been it's basically an American takeover, bringing in people from Central South America and migrating to the United States. But what bothers me the most is that the northern Canadian border, I just wished if the southern border was as tight as the northern Canadian border with ground devices and sonar and all kinds of stuff. You know, if you're in Canada and you're wandering through a cornfield and you end up in the United States, you'll be SWAT teamed. Your ass will be SWAT teamed. And you will be arrested and deported back and mandated to never come back to the U.S. But if you're coming in through the southern border, you're wide open. In the north, you need a vaccine to get into the States until summer of 2023. So they're holding us basically prisoners here in Canada is what they're doing. So the South is wide open. You get a phone and you get a plane ticket or a bus ticket or a train ticket. I wouldn't take a train right now because they're sabotaging that right now. So I would basically take a bus somewhere. All right. I'm afraid of the hospital. Yes, so am I. So I'm afraid of hospitals too. Everyone. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't get help. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, there's a lot of hospital shutdowns going around. So guys, that's just something that's happening. And all right, debt collapse. What are they talking about? Pay up. Elon Musk led Twitter now facing more than $14 million in unpaid bills. U.S. household debt hits record $16.9 trillion amid president inflation. You know, in Australia, household debt, I think, is the highest in the world per capita. By far. I think it's Australia's number one in the world. Yeah. Someone's saying they have to go to a CT scan. Yeah, get in shape. We need to be ready for some flu, hard times.
Hello.
Hey, I've been trying to reach you. A lot tougher to get than the president.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. How you been, Mike?
I've been good. I know you know we're live because I saw you in the comments.
Yes, that is correct.
We haven't spoken to you in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve the Plumber. Steve the Plumber has been coming on before Mike in the Night even started, back to trends in the housing market back in 2016, 2015.
Yes, that is very true.
It's been a long time coming now. We've been talking ourselves through this. So I bet you have a lot to I bet you have a lot to tell us, and I bet you have a lot that you've discovered and saw over the last couple of months since we last spoke to you. What is going on, Steve?
A bit of the same, but definitely there's going to be some interesting developments that are going to come out with respect to the Canadian federal government and our lovely Prime Minister. And are we on YouTube or?
We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube,
Okay.
so we have to be careful here because we're very heavily censored on here. But I got something you could chew on. Canadian
Sure.
real estate price correction to be one of the largest in the world.
Yeah, that's very true. It's been kind of festering for a better part of I'm going to say a better part of 10 or 15 years. It's really been just on an upward trajectory, if you will. And Now we just can't keep up. A lot of people are are in deep trouble here, and a lot of people are walking away from their houses. A lot of people are losing their houses as a direct result of being over leveraged. And make no mistake, there are quite a few people that own houses right now, and they might think, "Oh, they're sitting pretty, we have a low interest rate." Well, you know what? When you go to shop for a mortgage in 2, 3, 4 years from now, once your term is up, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you're renewing, a mortgage at 6.5, 7%. Yeah, you better be making a substantial amount of money in order to cover that, or the bank will come. And
Well,
it's
we've been
unfortunate.
warning people about these artificially low interest rates. They've been too low for too long, and we've been warning people for a long time. It's not like you know, we haven't seen a proper correction in a long time, right? So a proper correction where we're properly, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, I'm just trying to find something here, Steve. Go ahead and talk. And okay, here it is. Oh, there's a perfect one here I could show you guys from 5 years ago. There it is. Home ownership predictions. Today, 2017, a house. By 2020, sleeping in a tent. This is from 5 years ago. Dehumanization via vacant homes, low interest rates, tech jobs to fix the housing? I don't think so. So there it is right there. We've been warning about this. We've been forecasting this. We've been trying to wake people up to this, that this is a scam.
Yeah, it's basically it's designed to fail, and I'm totally convinced of that. We have a situation now where I've been desperately trying to find that article. I don't know whether we read it on Better Dwelling or where it was, but
Mm-hmm.
do you remember when OSFI came in and basically slapped the hands of the big banks because they took on so much garbage with respect to mortgage on their books, like really really bad mortgages,
Yes.
and they got rid of them and that they sold them off.
Right. Obviously, yes. They sold it. They sell the bad debt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's being repossessed right now. All of those mortgages that the banks got off those banks that are governed by OSFI. Okay, and for the people that listen to your show that are in the US or other parts of the world, OSFI is basically the financial watchdog for Canadian lending institutions that are governed by naturally OSFI. Many credit unions and chartered banks in Canada fall underneath that category. Anyways, I digress. That's what's being repoed right now. All of those mortgages that the banks took on and basically just rubber stamped, and then they basically sold them all off. Those are all getting repossessed right now. So those mortgages, and then you get you get your private money. Private money wants out. Private money is no longer going to be a long-term situation. Private money is resorting back to what it used to be, a buffer until you could actually get a proper mortgage. But people were turning to private funds to close on deals that were speculating and whatnot. So the private mortgages are still alive and well, but the average private mortgage right now is between 10 and 14%.
Right. So there it is right there. Back 4 years ago, interest rates are headed to 9% by 2022. Must watch or inflation will creep up. So a lot of people are trying to crucify me and email me and give me a really tough time because I want interest rates to go up. No, I've been telling people, what I've been saying is interest rates need to go up to curb inflation, or we're going to be in a hell of a world of hurt in the future. And if you go back to videos from 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, that's what we're talking about. Oh, Mike, why do you want my interest rates to go up? Now I'm paying an extra $1,000 a month on my mortgage. No! If interest rates went up 7, 8 years ago, we corrected this housing issue that we're in, and everything, all the bad debt fell off, all the money laundering stopped, and we actually got an accountable government. And guess what? You wouldn't be paying the extra $1,000 on your mortgage. Your mortgage would be like half the price of what you're paying because properties would have came down to wages.
Yeah, see, panic setting in. This is a classic example, and this is what I was told. Panic is starting to set in. and people are starting to deflect away from the situation because they know what's going on. They understand where the market's going, and out of uh, I would say the under 50 crowd. Uh, I would say close to 50% of those homeowners that currently have mortgages in major cities like, Toronto and Vancouver, for example, they're going to have to sell their properties when their mortgage comes up for renewal, because they simply will not make enough money in order to qualify for the renewal. And for the love
So
of God, the next person that says that those renewals are automatic, they need to be smacked upside the head. It is absolutely foolish to suggest that. Ladies and gentlemen, mortgage renewals are not automatic. The bank are going to check your credit bureau at the very least, and they are also going to check to make sure that you are gainfully employed.
here it is
They
right
must,
here, Steve. Can't renew my mortgage. TDS doesn't fit. Rate hikes affecting middle class. Mortgage rate wars.
yes.
We've already talked about we have TDS and renewing mortgages and condo fees 5 years ago. We've been warning people. Look, Australia's mortgage prison in danger. TDS won't fit. Unable to refinance. Raising rates 4 years ago. So This is something that again. I've been really vocal about this in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's happening right now. There are people that I actually know, and I'm not sure if I had mentioned this to you on a show or maybe just by telephone, but there are people that, are still gainfully employed, made it through COVID, still have their jobs, no issues, still making the same amount of money. And, in 2018, 2019, they took on, a 4 or 5 year mortgage, and they signed at 1.4 or 1.6%, and then all of a sudden they're renewing at 4 or 5% more. And the banks are basically their lenders coming back and saying, I'm sorry, we don't want the risk. We're not giving you another 5 year fixed rate. We're not giving you another 3 year contract. We're giving you 90 days. We're giving you 120 days to do two things. One, find somebody else to take on the risk and discharge this mortgage.
Right.
Or you need to show us that your house is listed, and you're trying to sell the house because you cannot afford your house anymore. And a lot of these people, 4 or 5 years ago, they stretched to the max. They took on everything they possibly can with these teaser rates. Not to sound like the '08 financial crisis, but that's what they were in essence. Signing a 4 year or 5 year term at 1.4 or 1.5, 1.6%, that's ridiculous. And sure enough, they're getting these $700,000, $800,000 mortgages, $900,000 mortgages,
900,000
maxing out.
is cute, sweet. No,
Yeah,
there's people I know a guy that's in 2.8 million, and the house right now is worth 1.8 million. So it dropped $1 million since he last bought it. And there's that video I made this morning about New Zealand.
yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are severely underwater, and no one's going to take on that risk.
No, they're not. But one thing's for sure, the taxpayer is going to have to take on that risk, because many people have, they got into the market with these insured mortgages and whatnot. And the taxpayer is going to be on the hook for all of these CMHC and Genworth insured mortgages. That's what the Canadian government did.
Mm-hmm.
They basically said, we'll go ahead and we'll back all these things. And there's so many moving parts to this, but it's all coming out. And it's going to be quite sad. It's going to be really, really sad. I talked to an appraiser today, and he's scared. He's he got called to basically appraise a house, a $2 million house or something along those lines, and he walked away. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want the risk. He
Mm-hmm.
says, I don't have the liability insurance in order to do that. He says, I'm not appraising the house. And a lot of appraisers right now are going in 20, 30% below what the market is dictating, and they're already pricing in this massive correction here.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, man. They're because they're foreseeing what's coming, right?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So a
Yeah.
lot of people in the States watching this yawn. It's like, what is the big deal with this, Mike? Why? I know, like some people even from stateside, from Mississippi, from all kinds of different parts of America messaging me is like, you have so many real estate videos warning people about housing. What is the big deal about this housing, Mike? People don't understand. It's like, so if you're living in the States, okay, if you're living stateside and you go to a rural area outside of a big city, let's say, I don't know, let's say Mobile, Alabama. You go out and you look at down a little side road and you look at them homes there, okay, in a rural area. You look at them homes. Those homes you're looking at in Canada are $1+ million each. Outside of rural area outside of Toronto would be like $1 million a pop. That's what people need to realize. So people living in these red states don't understand how damaged we are in Canada. Oh, it's such a big country. It's one of the biggest countries in the world. You have so much land. No, it's all crown land. We don't own this land. The Queen of England or whoever took her over owns that land. We don't own that land. We have, 94% is crown land? We can't build on anything.
No, we can't. And the sad part is, it's almost like you need to put it in perspective with them, because they don't. The average American person doesn't realize that we don't manufacture anything. Our largest, and this is why housing is so crucial right now. Our largest GDP contributor, with respect to Canada, is housing. It's tied to so many different things.
Somebody in the comments said, no, it's not. Look at Seattle. Exactly. You're right. So here are Seattle videos. Seattle housing crisis. Chinese buying up Seattle. Chinese housing wave tsunami has hit Toronto as Seattle and Vancouver implements foreign buyers tax. Investors fleeing Toronto to Seattle to destroy middle class. Seattle is not going to solve its crisis anytime soon. So Seattle became one of these cities when foreign investors, Chinese to take over Seattle housing market. Amerifornia is coming. Vancouver foreign buyer tax 5 years ago. So this is something that's happened. So it's affected. So the Canadian policy of foreign buyers tax actually in Vancouver has affected cities like Seattle, Tacoma, all the way down to Oregon have been affected by Canadian laws that were put into place to try and protect the Canadian proper, which was too little too late.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Now we have a ban right now.
That means nothing. That ban should have been on for 2010.
Absolutely, for sure, 100%. A little too late. All the damage is done. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. At this point, the only thing you can do is, I guess, assess the situation, figure out what your appetite for risk is, and either stay in the game or leave. And many, many, many people right now, there is a mass exit out of Ontario, Canada.
Yep.
People are leaving down for a red state. If you're some sort of a skilled worker, like a tradesperson, and you're a nurse or somewhere, where your job is in demand, you're getting out of Dodge.
Here it is right here.
Ontario.
This is what Steve is reporting. We reported it here 4 months ago. Canadian dream is over. Ontario residents are fleeing the province in record numbers. Ontario residents are fleeing the province in record numbers. There it is right there. We're reporting on it right there. Canadians fleeing Ontario, Canada in a frantic pace. Ontario now severely unaffordable 7 months ago. So there it is. Like we've been covering every angle we pretty much have covered on this channel. Connecting the dots on why things are happening the way they are. But for
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, but for people, they need to know they need to be vaccinated from Canada to the U.S. need to have a vaccine, because Canadians are selling their $3 million house and buying the same house in somewhere in rural Florida for $40,000, and I think that's why America has this. You need a vaccine from Canada to come into America. But if you're in the southern border, we've been reporting here. Where is it here? So you guys can see the southern border is wide open. There it is, right there. Southern border is wide open. And that's a big problem. So, and now, Steve, let's go into this now since I got you on the phone here. Where's that one here? I want to bring this one up here. So, Canada's population boom fueled by underutilized immigrants with insufficient shelter. So now, housing is starting to see a correction, but the correction won't be big enough because Canada's really focused on Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Ethiopia. from 2023 to 2025 to bring in a lot of people from from those parts of the world. Now, the problem we have is how can these people afford to come in when the people that live and work and already established in this country and speak the language and, go to church on Sundays and take their kids to soccer practice? If those people can't make it, how is Canada's idea of bringing in more people going to fix this problem?
And those people that you're describing, and I mean no disrespect, and I'm not trying to discriminate, but those people they're not coming from wealthy countries.
Well, my parents, when we came, we weren't wealthy. We came super poor from Portugal, right? But we still managed to get our way. We managed to make it through and pay off our home and stuff like that.
Well,
And
for sure.
but that's what I'm bringing up, Steve. But you're going to pay off $1 million home now?
No, you're not, because
That's
you know
what I'm saying.
if you're coming here in your 30s or your 40s with your family and you're immigrating here, okay, you're basically you're qualified to do F all, okay, absolutely nothing. You have to go and you have to get retooled. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to go back to school to get your education, okay, and then you have to factor in. You have to land a job, and that job has to put you in the participation factor with respect to mortgages and stuff. Not pouring coffee or minimum wage. We now know, is it like, what is it, $200,000 or $250,000 a year you're required in order to, combined household income in order to buy a half decent house?
Yeah. And people in the States watching this, we're not talking about Michael Jordan's second home or third home or Magic Johnson's home he just sold with a helicopter pad on it. We're talking like just a regular house in a suburban area outside of Mobile, Alabama is like $1 million here. And this is what people need to. That's why we've been. It's like we've been. I don't know. We've been hogtied and chained, being dragged by a pickup truck for years now, Steve. And there's like no. I don't know. It's like I don't see any remedies. Like they're not fixing these problems that they've created in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think they know how. All signs indicate, based on approval rating and what I see currently in the media, it looks like sooner rather than later that we'll more than likely get a new government, and it will be a conservative government, or let's hope it's going to be a conservative government, simply due to the fact that lucky sperm there, Mr. Trudeau, really needs to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, he does. But one way to fix this problem, and I brought this up in a video about a year ago, one way they could fix this problem is they need to cull or remove 90% of the public servants. Because 90% of the public servants working for the government are completely useless. We need the firefighters. We need some of the teachers, not all the teachers, because a lot of them are woke. We need some of the nurses. We need some, we do need to cull the public sector by 90%.
Yeah,
that's how you balance the books. You take all the people that are on the public tit off. A lot of those people that are on the public tit like to go to small businesses like mine and tell me how I should be running my business, what I should be doing, how I should be getting more customers in and giving free stuff away. The people in the public sector, they don't get how it is to be in the private sector and to be a private citizen.
No, absolutely not. They would never, in a million years, those government workers start a business, take on risk. Are you kidding, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, it's definitely not going to happen. I think many people are starting to understand what's going on here, and you may be onto something in terms of the vaccine mandate still being in place, despite what we know, the vaccine, not working and not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And bottom line truly is there's I don't want to go off on a tangent.
Yeah, careful with this. I don't want to get banned.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll leave it there, Mike. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that this is still happening. And
in Canada, it is. It's very full blown here in Canada, and
yeah.
And we are we're just suffering under the yoke. We're suffering under the mandatory mandate, and not I was talking to somebody today about this, and I said some of the countries, if they're smart, they could progress from this. Like a lot of countries in Africa, if they're smart, they could progress from this because a lot of them didn't play the game in 2020, 2021, and 2022 and 2023 because a lot of these African countries had nothing to gain from this. There was no incentive for them to shut their countries or to do what all the Western countries were doing. And they were getting no incentives in African countries. That's why you had a pile of African leaders get mysteriously assassinated. Because they knew there was nothing in it for them, right? Oh, Elizabeth, don't send me super chat. Oh, no. I said at the beginning, guys, do not send me super chat. I don't get it. Elizabeth, you just gave $20 to YouTube. Yeah, Steve, what happened was, I was going to get a big payout from the last month's worth of work I did with all the videos and the views and all that stuff, working really hard. I was going to get a pretty big payout, eh, Steve? And guess what happened? I got $70.
Serious?
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot of what I was supposed to get paid, and I got $70. Do you know why? Because they turned off my monetization because I declared in one of my videos that the Ukraine started a war with Russia. So,
yeah, Mike, you got to be careful what you say now. It's actually getting pretty bad out there. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. But one thing's for sure, that's unfortunate that they've gone ahead and they've taken that away from you because you work hard on these videos and people are very generous because they find value in your videos, which is a fantastic thing. But unfortunately, they
took all my super chat money, all the money I made. I was in for a nice. Here, guys, here's a link if you want to donate. Go here. Do not send anything on super chat. Go to donor box link up top. So what happens is basically if you donate to this, you're just giving it to YouTube. So they took all my super chat and they took all my AdSense, and my AdSense was high because I had almost 1 million views, Steve, in 28 days.
Right.
So they took it all.
Fuck, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then by the time it goes to Canada, before it comes to Canada from YouTube, the Canadian government took like a huge percentage of that, and then I was left with $70.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that. I mean, everybody wants their pound of flesh, right?
Yeah.
It's it's interesting how I saw in the comments, don't give up your guns, so on and so forth, and I speak to a lot of
America can't. America needs to keep this Constitution in line. Never change the Constitution to update for today's times because today's times are totally bullshit.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree, and I think Justin Trudeau he was trying to ram it through and pass it through when nobody was looking, and he was going to go ahead, and we were about to lose all of our guns with respect to the long arm and whatnot in terms of hunting rifles, and he's a very unethical.
Accountability. There's too much accountability on the table, and that's why I made a mistake a few months ago. I made a video a few months ago stating why Canada won't have an election, another like legit federal election ever. The accountability is so horrendous. Like, who's going to account for the last 3 years?
Yeah, and now we have a situation where things are coming out where China. There's now things coming to surfacing right now where China has, in essence, gone ahead and meddled in the last federal Canadian election to get Mr. Trudeau in because they didn't want the conservative people there.
Well, China worked hard to make sure this election went through for Trudeau. China worked really hard on the back end. Very hard.
Absolutely.
Well, if you look at the headlines, from that time saying China concerned about Liberal Party losing next election, China asking questions on why this election was called, and China asking, China very involved with Canada. We live in China here, and that's what's happened. Like our major exports, or even our ports, we have ports that are completely controlled by China. We can't even go to them as a Canadian citizen.
That is true. Very true. I think bottom line truly is where we don't know where this is going. We don't know how bad things are going to get. it really depends on how long it takes to get a new government in place, and also where inflation is. And if people want to go ahead and listen to members of organized real estate and say that the Bank of Canada is done raising rates, well, you are probably going to get hurt if base your financial decisions and investments on interest rates coming down, or staying where they are, because realistically they need to continue to go up in order to combat inflation. Now, inflation did tick down lower the other day, but all
Well,
signs
because they said
indicate
so?
that,
I don't think so.
well, they're not factoring in other things, but it's fair to say that we'll see at least one, if not two, interest rate hikes. But one thing's for sure, you should also talk with Gary Medeiros. He sends me a considerable amount of information on a weekly basis, and I'm very grateful that he does that, because I don't
I
always
see him
get
in
to
the
see
chat
some of
here. I
these.
wonder if he's still awake. No, but I had him on a few weeks ago on Mike in the Night too. He came on and talked about a few things and what's going down, and it's not good, man. Like, it really, like, I mean, our backs are to the walls, man. Where people are saying, Mike, you shouldn't worry, you own your house, but my property tax is going to be over $5,000 this year with 2 stoplights in my town.
Yeah, maybe. And you know what? If and maybe Justin Trudeau will lower your property tax if you agree to take in a refugee from Bangladesh.
Mm. So they're looking at Canada's looking to fix this problem to bring in more people, more population. America's destroying their own fabric of their society by like having a wide open southern border. And I keep talking to Americans. I'm like, why don't you guys secure your southern border like you do a northern border? The northern border in Canada from U.S., ground sensor penetrating radar, cameras everywhere, SWAT teams ready to SWAT you if you walk through a cornfield. They're Johnny on the spot with the ammo in the north. All they have to do, they don't need a wall in the south. All they need to do is run the border in the south like they do in Canada. That's all they need to do. And it's a bigger border from Canada to the United States than it is Mexico to America.
Yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Yeah.
But they're destroying.
There.
Everything's getting destroyed.
Yeah, there's some dark days ahead, and I don't know what else to say, Mike. It's really unfortunate, and a lot of people just have their head down and they think that this is eventually going to get better, miraculously get better before, can't get any worse. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Remember we had this conversation, Mike. I personally think that we will see a rate hike in maybe not in March, but I'm going to say May. May we'll see a rate hike.
We're going to see one in March.
You think so?
I know so. Let's go back to what I said. Again, let's go back to what I said 5 years ago. Let's see if I close that, though. Yeah, I think it's back one. Give me a sec. That's Seattle. Give me a sec here. Right here. I'm off by a couple of years because I said by 2020. So interest rates are headed to 9% by 2022. And I made this video 4 years ago. They have to be by 9 by we're behind. We're falling behind. According to what I said in this video, we are already falling behind. We're not catching up.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens here. At this point, the U.S. is going to continue to hike rates at this point.
They have to.
Signs
United States have to hike rates, but the people that bought their houses for $140,000 don't have to worry about a rate hike. It's the people that bought a $140,000 house and paid $2 million for it have to worry about the rate hike.
That's right. That's right, and that's the same thing here in Canada as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good old saying: if you have risk happens fast, and if you have a considerable amount of debt or large amounts of debt or copious amounts of debt, you risk getting your head taken off, and it's very, very, very true.
So Sheridan Forbes saying, Mike, look at your video from bank bail-ins from 4 years ago. I think I know that video he's talking about. I'll take a look at it. I will. I'll relook at it. Because did Joe Rogan say something today about what I said 4 years ago? Because usually it takes someone like Joe Rogan to come out and say something and say, oh, look what Joe Rogan just said. I'm like, we said that 7-8 years ago. I'm not sure why it's a thing now. You know what I'm saying? But did Joe Rogan say something I said in that video 4 years ago? Because I'm just wondering. Because usually that's what happens. It's like somebody comes in, says something, and then it becomes a thing. You know?
Yeah, and it's not like it's, you've had that happen to you, a considerable amount, and
Oh,
it can't just be a fluke every time.
yeah. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Just quickly, Mike, what's been going on with you? I saw some videos, haven't been able to watch it, but apparently you were asked to lie, you were asked to do this. Is everything okay?
No, everything's fine. No, this a video that was taken down a year ago to the date, but pretty much a year ago to the date was taken down, and I got a strike on my main channel for it. Now I put it up because it doesn't go against the new policies of YouTube, because the policies change every 2 weeks. And it was basically I was getting bombarded by these umbrella companies to tell people I took the juice and it works good and all this stuff, and that's what the video was from. It was from a video from a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I brought it back and put it back up for people to see, and that's basically. And then look where we're at today, right? I'm so grateful. I have never came on here to lie. I'm so grateful every day that I have never betrayed you guys. I could say I've never betrayed for what? A lot of people are saying, yeah, Mike, you should be getting some sponsorship. I got nothing, zero. I'm 83 episodes in on Mike in the Night. I think if anything, I'm in a negative position from doing it. And it's been very counterproductive for my small business, me living in a small town, and for my family. But I do it because I love you guys.
There you go.
So.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, it's getting a little late on my end. I shall let you go, and
Yeah, it's
hopefully
almost
there's
midnight
somebody
Miami
else.
time.
Yeah, hopefully somebody else. Hopefully somebody else wants to call in, or
Yeah, I'll
maybe
find
if,
somebody that won't go off the rails. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, maybe call Gary. See what that handsome devil's up to,
I would love
and
to call Gary. I would love to call.
Ricky Spanish.
I would love to call Gary. I can't get Ricky Spanish on though.
you can't.
No, he'll freak out. But Ricky Spanish is only
Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish is only for Mike in the Night. He can't come on this show. Mike in the Night on Odyssey, not on YouTube. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just quickly pop up as ask Steve how business is. You know what? Right now, if it wasn't for the bank work and stuff like that, and what we're currently doing, things are very slow. Things are considerably slow with respect to the HVAC side of the business. Definitely slow. Even on the plumbing heating aspect of things, it's slow there too. So if we didn't have our hands in multiple different sectors in order to pivot, we'd be in trouble. There's a lot of layoffs happening right now, and a lot of guys are leaving. A lot of guys are picking up and leaving. Just to give you an idea, fully certified HVAC guy right now down in Florida, with at least 5 years licensed, is making over $120,000 a year.
wow, he
American.
could buy a house every year.
Yeah, every year. So why the heck would you stick around? And yeah, I'm having a significant.
Oh, we got the free healthcare here.
Yeah, it's not free,
Steve,
Mike.
let me ask you a question. Are you scared to go to a hospital in Canada? You got to be straight up with me. Don't play games. Because I'm scared. I'm scared shitless to step into a hospital here in this country. I'm scared
Yeah.
shitless. Are you scared to go into a hospital?
Yes, I wouldn't say scared shitless, but I'm definitely worried. There's actually, it's actually quite humorous. I'll share this with you. The other day, quickly, one of my guys cut himself, had to go to the emergency room for a couple of stitches. and basically said, yeah, this is that. And he was asked, are you fully vaccinated? And he says, well, that's none of your business. And he says, well, what do you mean? Well, what does fully vaccinated actually mean anymore?
Yeah.
You tell me. Oh, well, you need to have at least 2 vaccines. Okay. Well, what happens if my vaccines were done over a year ago? Well, what do you mean? Well, they provide me no protection at that point.
Well, Bill
So
Gates came on record to say that last week.
So whether I'm vaccinated or unvaccinated, my vaccination status is none of your concern. Are you going to stitch me up or not? And that's what scares me. That's what ultimately scares me, because there's healthcare providers out there that are asking these questions, and it's just like, what are you actually doing here? This is absolutely silly. It really makes you wonder what they've done here, and quite frankly, I think people are still so worried about this whole vaccine and everything else. And, Trudeau's, oh, you will not be able to get on a plane and do this and do that. Well, you know what? That's fine. There are way, way too many things going on right now that aren't justified. And it is kind of scary to walk in an emergency room for a couple of stitches because, an X-Acto knife slipped, and you're being bombarded with these questions.
Yeah. All right, Steve. All right. Thanks for giving us a lot of your time. We'll get you back on soon enough, okay?
I hope this doesn't get flagged, buddy. I apologize if I've overstepped.
It'll be fine. We're not. I mean, what are we doing? Like, we're not breaking anything. It's already been public knowledge. It's already news. Fauci admitted it on an open report form that he did live 3 weeks ago, live with the microphone in his mouth, telling us this. So it's not, So, anyways. Have a good one, bud. I'll talk to you soon, and God bless you.
Good to be with you, buddy. Take care. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Steve the plumber. I just randomly called him because I randomly thought he would be... I saw him in the comments, so I kind of saw him in the comments, and I kind of knew that... I kind of knew he was available, so I kind of did that. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at the comments. Guys, if you want to support the transmission, go to donor box here. Man, I just feel so bad. I thought I had a good payday coming in from AdSense and all that stuff, and I got nothing. AdSense made money off of all my videos I made. They made the money. Yeah, whatever happened to Kevin Thompson? That is a really good question. Someone's saying they're praying for me. I'm praying for you too, buddy. Buddy there just lost his dad a few days ago. I lost my grandma a few days ago, and a few days before that, I lost my uncle. And, let's go down to Denver, Colorado. Let me see, Ooh, Lord Humongous sent me something here. States that are claiming silver and gold revolution. So more and more states more and more people are going to realize that gold and silver is money. It's always been money. Since the time of Moses, it's been money. So it was used as legal tender, right? Who else is out there? Who is out there? Who is out there that wants to come on a special Mike in the Night? Who is out there? Thank you, Elizabeth, for the super chat. Guys, do not send super chat. Do not. I'm going to figure out a way how to shut that off because it's just giving money to YouTube. And, yeah. Low roller scratcher in the house. Low roller scratcher. Yeah. Message Steve the plumber on Skype. What if everything goes digital? Oh, it's Monica.
Low roller scratcher in the house.
Hello?
Low roller scratcher.
Monica, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Message. Steve.
You need to
I'm
lower
here.
the audio on the show if that's okay.
Yeah, I took the audio off. How's it going, Mike?
It's going good, Monica. I haven't heard from you in a while. You doing okay?
I'm in Mexico, man. I'm living the dream.
Oh, I know you're in Mexico. Oh, I'm going to let people know that don't know. So this is Monica. She's been in Mexico for a good while. She escaped the prison of Canada.
I know. Can you tell?
Yeah, the prison of Canada. Property taxes are going up
Jeez.
here, the same usual.
I
and
know. I heard 7%.
Well, some places are higher and some places are lower depending where you're at, but it's high. It's getting out of control here, and I don't even know what to do anymore.
Well, you're in a good place.
I know. I've had people that watch me on the channel or watch the channel come by my store and come and visit me and tell me you're not in a bad place. You're not in a bad situation. You know, you're in a small town. You're surrounded by mountains. You got fresh water all around you,
and
rivers, streams.
You've got a beautiful wife and beautiful children, so you're in a good place.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
I'm very happy you got married, by the way.
Yeah, we were supposed to get married 10 times. Every time we try to get married, there's either a death in the family or a lockdown or something, and it keeps holding us back.
And you know what I love about your wife? Even though I've never met her, she's a Filipina. She's one of the most beautiful people on earth. Is the Filipino people.
Yeah. The Filipino community here in my town is the only real active, there's a party every week community.
Yeah.
There's a party every week. And it's not those parties where everyone's getting drunk. I'm talking about a ton of food, a ton of food, and everyone's having fun. All the kids are playing with each other, you know?
I know. And you're such a good dad. I've seen how you are with your son at his hockey, and it's so nice, to see. It's really lovely. And I think we need to be positive, and we need to look to the future.
That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been saying is something's going to have to break somewhere, Monica. Something's going to have to give somewhere for a balance, because it's been off. All of us here have been severely off balance.
Well, that's it. That's it. And that's, even here in Mexico, the people are so nice. Oh my God, these Hispanic people are so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just so buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. You walk on the street, they just say, buenos dias, buenos dias. The nicest people on earth. We're surrounded by good people. You know that, right?
Well, Mexico has God, right?
Yes. Well, that's it.
Right. Mexico has God. The problem, I lived in Mexico for 2 years. I lived in rural Mexico for 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I lived in the state of Guerrero.
Wow. Oh, no, that's the scariest part of Mexico.
Yeah, I lived in Guerrero, but I lived in a town called Juliantla.
Okay.
And it's outside of Tasco there. And I lived there for 2 years, and I did it. I mean, mind you, I professionalized my Spanish, because where I lived, there was no tourists, right? I just had to speak there's no choice, right? But to speak only Spanish, right? But that's okay.
You know what I do, Mike? I live on sign language.
Oh, no, I just speak Spanish. And then after that, I came back to Canada, saw how it was very hard to get anything done in Canada. So I moved to Miami for a bunch of years, right?
Yeah, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, Miami was great. Fort Lauderdale, not West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale area. Then I was in Key West for a bit.
Yeah, that's all nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Love Florida. I was in Florida for 6 months before I came here.
The problem with the States was they wouldn't give me citizenship, even though I had a tax ID number.
I can't believe that.
Huh?
I cannot believe
there was a lot of people in my boat, a lot of Canadian, Caucasian Canadian, European expansion Canadians that just weren't, they will not get citizenship in America. They wouldn't give me, I had a tax ID number, I had a company I was running, I had all kinds of stuff, I had a corporation sponsor me for citizenship, I had everything. They just won't give it to me.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, they won't do it.
Yeah, well, I not under Donald Trump's America. You won't.
So, like, they just won't give it. Someone's asking, Sheridan Forbes is asking, Hola, hablo español, Mike? Si yo hablo casi todos los días. I used to have Mike in the Night in Spanish.
Oh.
But the problem with the Mike in the Night in Spanish was I didn't have a problem talking in Spanish for 5 hours. I had a problem finding callers. I only had 4 callers.
Oh.
Yeah, I only had 4 people I could call that spoke Spanish that could come on the show, right? And talk to us, right? So, and I did Mike in the Night in Portuguese for a bit. Again, I can't find people that speak the language that have on the same time zone, that are in the same hemisphere, that could talk about the same things we're talking about.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just need to feel like, listen, I had a couple of friends who we lost touch with,
Mm-hmm.
and over the last little while, everyone kind of got together and said, we got to find our like-minded buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like, we just got to have our like-minded people. We just have to find our compadres. And that's it. It takes time, but, they're trying to destroy us. So, hello.
Yeah, they are destroying us. And they want to separate us from talking.
Of course. But guess what? God wins. And we will win this.
We always win. You know that.
We will win this. We will take this over. It's going to take a while because we got to wake up the sleeping masses, but it's going to happen. We're going to win this. You and I know that.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Absolutely. And I mean, Canada is unfortunately run by the evildoers.
Criminal cartels, and that's what it is. It's just what it is. And unfortunately, like, they want to pass, what is this, Bill C-18 and Bill...
Oh, what's the next bill? What's the next bill?
They're talking about now Bill C-18.
What's that? Tell me.
Here, let me bring it up here. Where'd it go? Okay, Bill C-18. Bill C-18. Let me move this over here. Bill C-18, and Google is blocking my news content. Google has temporarily blocked some Canadian users from viewing news content as a response to the Liberal government's proposed Online News Act, Bill C-18, which will require companies to compensate Canadian media outlets for republishing their work. So they want Google to pay.
Mean?
So Google wants, the Canadian government wants money from Google that republishes their Canadian propaganda.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
Yeah, so basically, the Canadian government wants Google to pay them. So they're saying, Google, you pay us for publishing our propaganda media. So, the Canadian news cycle here, news, like dinosaur media here, is completely funded by the federal government, right?
Oh, absolutely. Which is not... No, wait a second. Hold on.
No one will make no money. Even if they had open donations or crowdfunding, no one will donate $1.
It's funded by us.
Yeah, it's funded by taxpayers. Yeah.
Yeah, funded by you and me and the rest of the idiots who pay taxes.
Right.
So there you go. That's who it's funded by. It's a scam. It's a sham. It's a drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we have to deal with. We have to deal with these idiots.
Yep.
Day and night and night and day.
Someone in the comments saying, Mike in the Night, it's where I want to be. Vamos poner las luces aquí.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We got people commenting here in multiple languages now that they know I speak other languages, right?
Well, you speak Portuguese, right?
Yeah, it's my first language.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And when people are like, who speaks Portuguese? It's the official language in South America.
And let's talk about the president of Portugal. of Brazil.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I called that election. I knew it was going to be
Bolsonaro.
Yeah, I called that election 4 months before a single vote was counted. I already knew it was going to be civil unrest, and I knew it was going to be fixed.
Oh man,
The video's up from
that loser, that
criminal. No.
Lulu.
You have to refer to him as a criminal because he's been in jail twice.
Lulu.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lula.
come on.
He's been in jail 2 times, so he's a criminal.
Or just take one gander at that man's face.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't figure out what's going on, I give you no credit.
Mm-hmm. I already knew that was a fixed election. I called it 5 months before they counted a single ballot.
Oh, I know. But they're doing it on purpose. I think it's waking up the dum-dums.
Here it is,
What do
folks.
you think?
Brazil election results may lead to civil unrest. This is my opinion. It's all fixed. It's all rigged. Do you know how I knew the election in Brazil was going to be fixed? Because the election board of Brazil was already telling people your vote is safe electronically. You don't need to worry. I already knew.
Oh, yeah. The electronic vote. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. The electronic vote.
It's
And
good.
do
Don't
we
worry.
have-
It's safe. You have
Hey,
nothing to
Mikey.
worry about. I knew it was fixed.
Mike, do we have an electronic vote in Canada?
Well, we have that system, and it's failed us miserably here.
Right. I don't think, they don't say we have an electronic vote, but I think we do.
We do. We do have an electronic voting system. That's how the Liberal government got back in again. From the snap election.
I love the way you always say, oh, all these people. Oh, wait a second. Who's not elected? Wait a second.
Selected.
Macron is back.
Oh, you know me. You know my relationship with Macron, right?
Trudeau's back. Macron's back. Guess who's back? Macron.
Okay, here it is, folks. Liberal government will call snap election and win. It's all fixed. Rig elections worldwide. So there it is. I called the snap election in Canada 11 months before they called the snap election. And Monica, you know how many people told me, Mike, they'll never call a snap election in Canada during the hike of a pandemic. Are you nuts? No. And they did call the snap election, and the Liberals won. And 4 months ago, if you look it up, 4 months ago, they found 407,000 uncounted mail-in ballots.
I know, isn't that gorgeous?
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? Fabulous.
I think we should just all vote for Pedro.
Unbelievable. And who's funding all this? Who's running who's
Well, China plays a big part in Canadian elections, like a huge part. The WHO does too, and the WEF, but China has admitted and said we own like a majority of Canadian politicians anyway.
Yeah, but what part of China? Not the People's Republic, the CCP.
Yeah, the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, not the People's Republic, because there are wonderful people in every country.
Oh, of course there are. My ex-girlfriend was Chinese. I don't have a problem with Chinese people.
Of course not. Neither do the Chinese people have a problem with us.
You know, so it's more of a, you know, I guess it's more like it's blatant, so you see it, so you call it, right? Because if it was the Portuguese, the people will, the Portuguese are doing this again, and the Portuguese are at it again, right? Like the Russians. You ever notice, if you listen to language in the news, how they say, the Trump administration today is declaring war. The Trump administration is destroying this. The Trump administration is doing this. The Trump administration is wreaking havoc. But then you listen to the news today, you don't hear the Biden administration today is wreaking havoc. No, the American people today, the Americans are wreaking havoc. The Americans are doing this. The Americans are doing that. What? No. It's the Biden administration that's doing that. But you see how they word it out?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So they never say the Biden administration today made a mistake. No, but if it's Trump, the Trump administration today did this. The Trump administration is... You notice that? But when it's Biden administration, It's the Americans today have decided. The Americans are doing it. The Americans. The Americans. I'm like, no, it's not the Americans. It's Joe Biden.
Well, do I think Joe Biden's really Joe Biden?
Oh, who knows? I don't even know, man. That guy's completely out to lunch.
Okay, in my opinion, that ain't no Joe Biden. Go to the president's oh gosh, I called you guys about a year ago, and I think I showed you the president's, oh gosh, I have to remember which but there was Obama, and there was President Trump, and there was no Biden. On the Hall of Presidents, there's no Biden. So guess what? Maybe people think I'm crazy. I don't really care. But I don't think there's any President Biden.
Well, here, someone in the comments says they're still blaming Trump for a lot of the stuff today. BS. You know what? In Canada, where I live, in the town I live in, 95% of the people believe, listen to this, in my small town, they believe the reason why America is going so bad and sideways right now, it's because the Biden administration is cleaning up all the BS from Donald Trump.
Oh, yes.
Where I live, that's what it is. That's what they believe wholeheartedly.
In your town?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you lived in a kind of a conservative...
I don't live in a conservative town.
Jeez Louise.
My town's like 80% public sector.
Okay, so they're all on the payroll.
They're all working for the government. Yeah, it's like 85% public sector. There's not a lot of private sector here. I have my private sector job, my own little store, and then I got people from the public sector come in and tell me how to run my business and what I should be doing to make more money and this and that. If they know all this shit like Nancy Pelosi, why don't they open their own fucking business?
Oh, and by the way, where is Nancy?
I don't even know. These people are all garbage.
Where did Nancy go?
I don't know, man.
Guess what? It's called Gitmo.
You think so?
Oh, yes, sorry, Bob. I think they're all down there.
Well, that would be nice to know. That'd be nice to.
We're gonna be told. We're gonna be told very soon where all this garbage is gonna go. I'm telling you. Not that I know anything. Not that I know. Not that I never met Donald Trump, which I did. But I'm gonna tell you, I believe they're in Gitmo.
YouTuber. Mm-hmm.
And all these other people who don't realize what's going on are going to figure it out very quickly.
Yeah, I think something's going to give.
Well, what's going on?
Something's going to give, Monica. Something big is going to come down because the narrative is falling apart and there's too much accountability and no one's going to take accountability. Remember that guy, Wilford Brimley?
It's huge. This is what it's all about. The financial accountability and all the accountability. You've been saying this for how many years, Mike?
I don't know, man. I've lost track of how many.
You've been predicting this downfall for at least 8 to 10 years. And not to blow your own horn or toot your own horn or whatever. But honestly, like, you've been right. Like, I have to go back and watch the Mike and the Knights and watch all your videos. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's like wide awake. He gets it. He's been predicting it for 10 years.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Joe Rogan that said it, because if Joe Rogan said some of this stuff, he'd he'd have a statue monumented for him up in every country of the world for
Joe
people
Rogan.
to. Yeah,
that's another one. But
that's the sad part, is because it only becomes something. I say it, you heard it, you know I've said it. It doesn't mean anything. But if Joe Rogan says it, it becomes like the biggest. I'm not just picking on him. I'm saying other people say it. It becomes gospel, and everyone, did you hear what Joe Rogan said? I'm like, Yeah, we said that 10 years ago.
Well, you know what? The real people get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. The real people, the people who understand and hear it and see it, get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about Joe Rogan, which I think is another show.
Mm-hmm.
And like whoop-de-doo, he makes what, 75 million bucks a year, whatever the amount of money. But you know what? Guess what? Mike Martin said it 10 years before.
Okay, someone keeps sending me this link here. Okay, let me just open this up. Someone send me this link here. Let me open it here real quick for you guys. They keep sending me this link. Mike, open this now. I know you're live.
YouTube.
Open this now. I know you're live. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, this is what they
Okay.
want me to show you guys. Here it is, full screen. Stack them up, condense more people. 15-minute cities coming
Oh, yeah.
soon.
Gorgeous.
15-minute cities coming soon, and that was 6 years ago. January 9th, 2017.
Who said that? Who said the 15-minute city 7 years ago?
Me, on my channel. Someone just sent me this link.
Get out of town.
It's right here.
Holy crap.
Yep. 600 people saw it on June 9th, 2017.
That's insane.
Yeah, someone was just
So, you know
blowing
what,
up my Skype, sending me this video. They were blowing up my Skype, sending me this. Like, you better open this now. I know you're live. Open this now.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I did. I opened it. I showed it to people.
Wow. Incredible. Well, people figured it out, and somehow we were sent to your site just to figure it out, you know, as a group, as a people. And it's incredible, you know. So we're all working together to figure it out. How to figure this out.
That's the only thing. We've been talking ourselves through this for the last 10 years, right? So we'll get through it. Monica, it's not going to end, you know, it doesn't end like as you know what I'm saying, right?
Oh gosh, do I know how it ends? If I knew how it ended, I'd be like, you know.
We win in the end. It doesn't matter. We win.
No, you know who wins? God wins.
Well, God wins, but we win because I could go out and have a coffee in public and not have to worry about being taken out because I've betrayed half the world.
Absolutely.
I have nothing to worry about. I could go out to any casino in this planet and have a roast beef sandwich in public and not be worried because I didn't sell out the world, or I didn't sell out my fellow man, or I don't have to look over my shoulder because I don't know anybody anything and I've never betrayed anybody. So I'm free. And that's what it means to be free.
I agree. And like, again, I congratulate you and your wife and your beautiful children who I've seen on your videos. The most adorable little kids. And, you know, I have 3 sons myself. And it brings me back to when they were little babies. And it's so cute. And I'm just so happy for you. And you're doing everything you can for all of us. And I thank you, my friend, for doing everything you can, because you're a leader. And I thank you.
All right. Speaking of family, my family is just arriving right now, Monica. So
All right.
I'm going to let you go.
All right.
And we'll talk soon, okay?
Love to you and all your family.
You
and
as
your
well.
children.
God bless you.
God bless you, Mike.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao. Ciao. All right, that's Monica in Mexico. She fled Canada to move to Mexico. All right, who else we got here? Who else we got here? Nobody's available. My family is just arriving from their little outing here. And I just wanted to come on and talk with you guys. Oh, an hour and a half. Good. I wanted to come on and talk with you guys for a bit, see what's going on. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, go here to the donor box. Keep the lights on for Mike of the Night. The question is, what will we do with this info? Yeah, that is a good question. Do you know why? Because if I'm telling people or we're prophesizing these things and bringing these things up and nobody listens, right? Unless you're someone of unless you're of someone of some sort of heavy importance or something that people will listen to, it means nothing, right? So me saying things, they're going to pull the trigger on a pandemic back in 2017, back in 2018, and back in 2019. People keep sending me videos of me saying that. Okay, but it means nothing. It doesn't mean anything that I said it. Nobody cared what I had to say, right? And that's what it is, right? So, yeah, it's someone like, again, someone like what's that other guy? I don't want to pick on Joe Rogan tonight. What's that other guy's name? What's that other guy's name? That whatever he says becomes golden too. God, I forgot. Russell Brand. He says something, it's golden, man. It's like, did you hear what Russell Brand just said? So we need more people like of that level of following or level of, I guess, people trust to say it. So it becomes something, right? Oh, someone's saying Tucker Carlson. Yeah, someone at that level to say something so it means something. Me telling you guys what's going to happen day in, day and night, 24/7. I'm telling you now, 2024 is going to be the year of government-sanctioned murder. Nobody cares because I'm telling you this. 2024, they will sanction your murder. Oh, who's dying over there in that room? Oh, that's just the climate change denier. He or that's a global warming denier. We could kill him. That's okay. We could kill him because the government's doing it. It's safe. Watch what's going to happen. Watch. But then again, I said it. It means nothing. John Paul Jones saying, bless you. Enjoyed very much tonight. God bless you. Yeah, join us tomorrow night for Mike in the Night. Hold on. Mike in the Night. Let me do a plug here. Tomorrow night, guys. Sorry, Saturday night. Here's a link for Mike in the Night. The Orlinger Brooksters already went in there and disliked the video. I do have the chat up at work. This chat here for Mike in the Night. I actually have this open, eh? Hey, what's up? Like, I actually have the chat open for Mike in the Night during when I'm at work. And I could just chat with you guys there. I have this open. So if you guys want to go here and let me go. There it is right there. So if you guys want to follow it, go there. I have this open at work all day. I could talk with you guys. All day. I have that open at work. Artbydaniel.com, artbydaniel.net. Not your typical art. Don't forget to check him out. You're burning the midnight oil with Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. I'm signing off now. This is a special edition of Mike in the Night. We are 5 weeks out. And I'll see you guys on the flip side here. See you guys Saturday night for Mike in the Night. Mike Martin's here. Hold on. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.